Shkoyach Moshe. Actually, he's a pro now. He's running the Chaburah with the others. I actually gave him my speech to look over today. I said to him, it's your turn. Anyway, Bruchim Haboyim B'Shem Hashem. It's wonderful to be here. I'm in awe. I'm humbled. And of course, I'm felling with nachas, not only because I have a personal relationship to the Chaburah, but of course to see your accomplishments, which is absolutely awesome. And there are no words to what you have all accomplished here. David, Yehuda, and remember when Moshe told me when he started that he just had, I think, 4 in the Chaburah. He just had 4 in the Chaburah. He never told me that it morphed into 60 or 70. I thought I was going to come here and speak to 4 people. You know, whoever knows me and whoever knows my shul know that I don't speak to crowds larger than 10. You know, and that's it. So I'm definitely in awe. I want to thank everybody for having me here. This is a wonderful time to be here. I'll tell you, and I don't mean this as an exaggeration, but at least 10 people, and I'll only call one out, you know, David, but at least 10 people said to me tonight, how long are you speaking? That was the number one question. They all know who they are. And they were all nervous. Everyone's in a sweat here. How long are you speaking? How long are you speaking? You know, so I mean, we could do this diplomatically. I prepared 3 speeches: a 5-minute, a 10-minute, and a 25. By a show of hands, no, I'm going to do this diplomatically. It's okay. I'll turn around. Who wants the 5-minute? Who wants the 10-minute? Who wants the 25-minute? All of the above. Okay, so we'll see how it's going, all right? So we'll give you the 5-minute. If it's going well, we'll continue. And now we have the luxury today of all having cell phones. So if anybody thinks that I should be ending or thinks I should continue, my number is 914-830-5280. Just send me a quick text. And if you have something to add to what I'm saying, and if you think I missed something, so just send me a text. I'm fine with that. Everybody turn on your phones. You don't hear that too often, right? Usually tell you to turn off your phones, turn on your phones. Anyway, it's great to be here, and it's nice to see that we do have such a large oilum here. You know, Baruch Hashem, you know, I don't know if it's 60 couples Kenahara or 70 couples Kenahara, and they're all here tonight. And then I realized if you want to go out to eat and say it, this is the only way to do it. It's our anniversary. Where are we going? Better make us Siyum quickly. Nowhere else to go to eat. Anyway, so it's wonderful. I could crack that joke because I think I'm the only one. Is anybody else? Do you know anyone else that is proud to have 3 married siblings here, children living in Passaic? I have 3 in Passaic. How many other people have that? Is that many or no? Not too many, right? I think I have the record. So, so I'm very proud to be a Passaic parent, to be part of the Chaburah on that level. The end of the Gemara Maakos that we just finished, that the Chaburah just learned. The Daf Chafalef, the Mishnah there says, "Ratzah Kadosh Baruch Hu Zakos Es Yisrael Lefichach Hier Bahem Torah Mitzvos." A very well-known Mishnah, a well-known adage that we have that is throughout Pirkei Avos that we say in our davening whenever there's Kadosh Drabanan. We all know Ratzah Kadosh Baruch Hu Zakos Es Yisrael Lefichach Hier Bahem Torah Mitzvos. Right, Kadosh Baruch Hu wanted to benefit Klal Yisrael, so therefore he gave them multitude, gave them abundance of mitzvahs. He increased the amount of mitzvahs. He gave them Taryag mitzvahs. The Gemara Maakos goes on to explain Taryag and what it all represents, and the Gemara talks about the 365. Losaseh, and of course the Ramach and the 248 mitzvahs aseh, and the Gemara says where it comes from. And for those that were learning Maakos, probably know this better than I, but the Gemara does say that this was a schus to Bnei Yisrael. Ratzah HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'zakos es Yisrael. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to give us a schus. He wanted to merit Klal Yisrael, so he gave them 613 mitzvahs. I remember the first time I said this in my shul, and I have a shul of people who don't have any background. I have a shul of people that are all, learning and hopefully, becoming Balei Tshuva. Most of them are now at that point. They usually move away. We get a new group in. But I remember the first time I said this, and I said, we have 613 commandments. They all looked at each other. 613? Look, with 10 commandments. So where would this guy come out with 613? And we always grew up saying 10 commandments. I had explained to them, no, we don't have 10 commandments. We have 613. I go, oh boy, this is going to be pretty hard. But the answer, the question really is that it is difficult when you have 613, you have Tayag. So now you have so many more opportunities to do Averas also. You have so many more opportunities to mess up, as we say, or to make mistakes. Why do we look at this as a zchus? Wouldn't it be easier if we had fewer? What's Kadosh Baruch Hu Zakos Yisrael? The Hebrew Torah mitzvahs. So all the Mefarshim ask us. There are many explanations to why this is considered a zchus and how we understand this as a zchus. The Rambam in Pirush Mishnayos and Maakos famously says that the idea is to do all the mitzvahs. So hopefully you'll get one right. And that one mitzvah you could take up to Shemayim with you and say, I did this one, this was my mitzvah, and everybody should always try to focus their energies on one mitzvah, to have one mitzvah, according to the Rambam. It seems that that's what he was saying. Other Mefarshim say, the Emek Bracha says, that Ratzah Kadosh Baruch Hu Zakos Yisrael Lefichach Hirba Hem Torah mitzvahs. He gave us so many Torah mitzvahs because he gave us mitzvahs as part of that's included in the Taryag mitzvahs, that's included in the canon, that's included in the Torah. And we'd be doing it anyway. All the mitzvahs ben adam l'chavero we would be doing anyway. Could you imagine you hold the door open to someone in the morning and you say good morning, you go visit someone when they're sick, you return a wallet that you see and on the street and you look at the name and you go and return it. Everyone does this. Someone is sick and you go to the hospital and you visit them. You'll be doing this anyway. If a parent says you get me a glass of water, please, you'll be doing that anyway. All these things that you would be doing anyway, just as part of your daily routine as a human being, I'm going to turn that into a mitzvah. You hold the door open for someone, you go and just visit someone in the hospital. That's tantamount to fasting on Yom Kippur, that's tantamount to hearing the shofar Rosh Hashanah, to eating in the sukkah. They're going to be included in the Taryag mitzvahs. Ratzah Kadosh Baruch Hu Zakos Yisrael Lefichach Hirba Hem Torah mitzvahs. That all these everyday acts that you'd be doing, you're getting mitzvahs for them. That's one way to understand it. However, I believe Ratzah Kadosh Baruch Hu Zakos Yisrael, it's necessary. It's necessary to have the mitzvahs to have a better quality of life. The more rules you have, the easier it is. The easier, not harder. The more rules, the more restrictions, then you will have a better life. It's always going to be that way. As the Mishnah says in Pirkei Avos, who's a ben chorin? Kol misha osek b'Torah. The real ben chorin, the real free person, the person who wants freedom, is the person that has those mitzvahs, that has that Torah, that has the restrictions. The more you have, the more quality of life you have. The best way to understand this, obviously we have a multi-billion-dollar industry called sports in the United States. What makes sports exciting, and the only reason why sports is so exciting, why everybody is glued to the game on any level, whether you're going to be a sixth grader, whether you're going to be a high school, whether it's going to be watching sports that's college, any pro sports, whatever it's going to be, if it's going to be baseball, but it's because we have a rule. It's because it's a tie game and there's a second left to the basketball game and you're down by 2. And the person can't walk, he can't move, there's a second left, he just has to catch the ball and throw it up. And everyone's glued to it because they know there's a rule that you have a second. And there's another rule that you can't move. And there's another rule that if you dribble just once and do one thing, the game's going to be over, you're going to lose the game. But there's a rule that if you fling it off your hands before the buzzer goes off, you can win the game. And everyone's staring, looking at that. It's bottom of the ninth, bases are loaded. 3-2 pitch. Tie game. That's all you need is one pitch just to be a little bit off. A little bit off. And it's a ball. And you walk and run comes home and you win the game. Or if that pitch is just right on target, right over the plate, you strike him out, the other team wins in the field. It's the rules that make it so exciting. If we wouldn't care, if we would just say throw the ball, or if we tell the person who catches the ball, in basketball you could walk, you could throw, you could take your time, it wouldn't be exciting. What gives us the quality of life are all the rules and all the halachas and the Shulchan Aruch and the Torah. That's not restrictive. That's Ben Chorin. Kol Misha Osek B'Torah. That's freedom. We can enjoy life on a level that no one else could. Just this past Sunday night, I'll tell you a story. This happened, but just this past Sunday night, right? We all finished, not this past Sunday, a week ago, after we finished Tisha B'Av. We know Tisha B'Av was a nidcha. Every single person in the room knows this. Tisha B'Av was a nidcha. Tisha B'Av occurred on a Shabbos. So it got postponed to Sunday, right? And so many people came over to me, and everyone and the women, in my household, they come over to, and they're so excited. We could do a wash tonight, right? Tonight we could do a wash. They're all excited. They could do laundry, right? We could do laundry tonight. We could do laundry tonight. Yeah, you could. Oh, wow, we could do laundry tonight. We could do it tonight. And they're so excited because it's a nidcha and you can do it. No one else could have that enjoyment. No one else is failing that. They're saying, oh, got to do laundry? From later, we can do laundry tonight. We can do it tonight. That's all. And when I was in camp, I was in camp for many, many summers. And I had a meeting with one of my balabatim. And of course, it was a Tisha B'Av that was a nidcha like this. And it was in Camp Heller, Camp Magen Avram. And when I planned the meeting, I wasn't aware, they weren't aware. It was Sunday. We said, come up Sunday. You're not working, come up to camp Sunday. You'll visit me. It happened to be, they came at the end of the day. It was Tisha B'Av, and they called me, can I come? It's Tisha B'Av. I said, you'll come, and you'll break the fast with us. These people didn't know much, and they were fasting, and they knew a little bit. And then we would go into the dining room, and all the Rebbitzins are walking over to the Morah D'Asr, who's standing right next to me, Rabbi Shua Kalish Shlita, and all the Rebbitzins are walking over. We could do a wash tonight. We could do laundry tonight, right? He goes, yeah, you could do it tonight. They go, we could do it tonight. Wow, we could do it tonight. And then finally, the woman from my community couldn't understand what was going on. Why did they get all excited about that? They could do a laundry tonight. So she went over to them and she asked them, and they said, she says, why are you so excited? You can do a laundry tonight. I go, because we don't have to wait till tomorrow at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock to Chatzos. We could do it tonight. She says, okay, I'll come to my house. I'll give you a lot of laundry. You'll be a very happy camper. You don't have that. But these are things that only we could enjoy. No one else can enjoy it because we have all these restrictions, and even our happiness and even our joys. And the Satmar Rebbe famously used to say, he used to tell a story. They changed it a little bit, but the line originally comes from the Satmar Rebbe, Zatzal, that they said about these boys who go off and they say that we had enough. They leave yeshiva and they start doing every Avera, and they meet these guys and they're doing every Avera you could possibly think of. And they're reading Tarfas, and they're Mechal Shabbos, and they're doing everything. And after a week of doing this, finally one of the Goyim says to the yeshiva boys, they said to him, they said, so you did everything. You had a cheeseburger. We went to a concert. We did this. We went here. We went there. We went all over. They go, now you see how to live. And one yeshiva bacha looks at the other one and goes, it doesn't come to not having to say Tachanun on a Monday or Thursday. And that's Satmar Rebbe's line. We have built into the system. We have enjoyment that nobody else could have. Only we could have these things. These are things that we have because we have restrictions, we have a certain quality of life, and therefore we have all these rules. We could always have that excitement. And 1 second left to the game. It's bases loaded, it's a 3-2 pitch. We always have that because we're constantly surrounded by halachas We're constantly surrounded by Torah telling us how to eat, how to sleep, how to walk, how to talk. And because of that, that takes our level of life and our quality of life so much more. And that's what it means. What's HaKadosh Baruch Hu, L'Zakos Es Yisrael. We have enjoyment that cannot be duplicated in any other context. No one can duplicate our simcha. No one can duplicate what we do and how we get through life. We're going to see in this week's parsha a similar idea, I think. And Moshe Rabbeinu admonishes Klal Yisrael. He does a lot of that during Sefer Dvarim. And he begins his monologue, and you don't see Vayomer Hashem or Moshe Lemor. What you do see, you see Moshe talking and Moshe quoting the Kadosh Baruch Hu and saying Hashem said this and Hashem said that. You didn't listen. Then Moshe says in this week's parsha, Moshe Rabbeinu says that I went up to Har Sinai, Arbaim Yom va'Arbaim Layla, Lechem lo achalti, Mayim lo shasisi. I didn't eat, I didn't drink for 40 days and 40 nights, and then I came down and you were involved in the Chet HaEgel, and I couldn't even give you the luchos. Right? It's a pasuk in the Torah. This week's parsha. The Mefarshim ask an interesting question. What's Moshe Rabbeinu saying, complaining to Bnei Yisrael that he couldn't eat or he couldn't drink? You in Shemayim. You were talking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You had a really good chavusa, Moshe Rabbeinu. You were in a place where you didn't need to eat, where you didn't need to drink. No, it's like giving a guy a ticket, and you say to him, I'm going to give you a first-class flight, and you get to go on vacation. You could go to Hawaii. You could sit by the pool. You could relax and do everything. And then he's sitting there. I don't have the traffic going to work. I don't have to deal with my boss. This is terrible. I'm not having my boss. I don't have to deal with my secretary. This is terrible. I'm sitting here just walking around the hotel. I'm just enjoying walking through this. And you're complaining about this? You want to go back to work? You want to be in the traffic? You want to deal with your secretary, your boss, and everything else that's going on? Here, I'm giving you a vacation. Moshe Rabbeinu, he's learning Torah with the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He obviously was on a level of a malach that didn't need food. He didn't need to drink. He didn't need to eat. And then he comes back and he complains to Klal Yisrael, look at that, I wasn't able to eat or drink. How do you understand that pasuk? What does he mean? Because Moshe Rabbeinu, he wanted the restrictions. He understood that human beings have to be here, and we always need the struggle, we always need the challenge, and we always need the fight. That's what we're all about. Moshe Rabbeinu was looking and saying, I should have been down here. This is where I should be. Every single day, I have to daven. I have to learn. Moshe Rabbeinu was looking, talking to Klal Yisrael. He said, you know what? I was up there. I'm not a malach. I'm a human being that has to grow every single day. I can't miss a day of learning. I can't miss a day of davening. That's where I'm supposed to be, down on this world, doing Torah and mitzvahs. I don't want this. I'm not a malach. I'm supposed to be at the Chaburah in Pesach, joining them for Maakos. That's what I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning like everybody else. And I'm supposed to be learning, and I'm supposed to be growing every single day. This is what I want. I want the fight. I want the challenge. I want the struggle. I want this type of a life. That's what every single Yid is all about. This is what we want. This is what we daven for. What's the Kadosh Baruch Hu, L'Zakos Es Yisrael, Fichach here will have Torah mitzvahs. We want the Torah. We want the mitzvah. We don't want the breaks. We want all the challenges. And this is what Moshe Rabbeinu was saying. I'm a human being. I had to be down here. I had to be learning. I missed all my learning. I missed the daf. I missed the Gemara Maakos. I missed my Chaburah that day. I wasn't able to learn. Now where am I? Sure, so I was up there in Shemayim. I didn't have any food, but I didn't make any brachas that day. I wasn't able to eat. I wasn't able to bench. I need that. This is what we're all about. You could all look around and you could see that the greatest challenge that you had here in Pesach was easily accomplished. You started out with Chaburah, a 4, and now it morphed and blossomed into dozens, because you took upon yourselves the challenge. You didn't sit back, you didn't relax, and you didn't say that this is good, we could just have a Chaburah of 4. You wanted more. You wanted the struggle, you wanted the challenge. You wanted to keep on going and growing, because this is what we're all about. This is why HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us a multitude of mitzvahs, so we'll keep on doing it. If you do continue, which I'm sure you will, and you continue what you're doing, you look at the success that you have, your success will only continue to grow. Both all the men, all the young men that are coming to learn, that have the commitment, the dedication, and of course the inspiration, and by giving to them and all the support by their wives, together, if you continue what you're doing, you will see that you're going to be extremely successful. And right here in Passaic, we're going to have more and more of a Makom Torah. The Chaburah is going to grow. And your success, because you're willing to stand up to the challenge, and you're willing to take it on and rise to the occasion, the success right here by this Chaburah, this is going to be the success. This is going to be the victory that in Meseches will spill over to many, many other communities. You will be the paradigm. You'll be the role models for all of them. And in Meseches, that's what's going to bring the Geula Shalema b'Mehera v'Yameinu. Amen. It should all be Matzliach, and thank you for inviting me, and thank you for allowing me to be part of this.